हेलो, बोलिए राधे राधे। टाइप राधे राधे इफ यू आर लिसनिङ। राधे राधे टाइप गर्नुहोस् यदि तपाईँहरू सुनिराख्नु छ भने। हेलो, हेलो, टाइप राधे राधे इफ यू आर लिसनिङ। हेलो, 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 टाइप राधे राधे इफ यू आर लिसनिङ। Chat in the comment box. राधे राधे। अर्को पनि गर्नुहोस् को हुन्छ। ए 2 जना भनेको त मै छु। Do like, do like. यदि सुन्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने लाइक गर्नुहोस्, सब्सक्राइब गर्नुहोस्, बेल आइकन दबाउनुहोस्। लाइक आएन। यस अर्को को हुन्छ लाइक गर्नुहोस्, कमेन्ट गर्नुहोस् अनि आफ्नो नाम लेख्नुहोस्। सुनिया छ कि छैन? हेलो। माइकले सपोर्टै लिइराखेन यो लगाएर हेर्नु हेलो 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 छैन स्क्रिन सेयर गर्छु यही बुढो देखाइदिनु न
बताइएगा। प्रकाश पटेल जी से हाय। पदकारे गम पम गरिगा, पदकारे गम पम गरिगा, पदकारे गम पम गरिगा। gari ga ma gari sare. प्रणाम गुरु जी फ्लूट दिनेश प्रणाम प्रणाम ये भोजपुरिया Pamagariga magarisare pa Pamagariga magarisare da re re sa sare gama pamagariga sare gama pamagariga sare gama pamagariga ram sargam बताइएगा गुरु जरूर Pamagariga magari sare Pamagariga magari sare ga re re sa sare ga ma Pamagariga sare ga ma Pamagariga 1 मिनट में आपको सरगम भी लिख के देता हूँ
Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Now in this session, we'll be doing the bandish of Radhi. Hello everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Now in this session, we'll be covering a very important topic for all the flute players, mastering octaves. Understanding to play different octaves is very crucial for developing your range and enhancing your. Hey everyone, which instrument do you play? Just by saying flute, that won't be enough. You'll have to be not Indian bassuri. Sir means reels in the flute is cylindrical. Whenever we talk about the flute, it'll always be a blowing hole, and 7 appearance of the flute. It looks really beautiful, right, with all these colorful threads. But these threads have a higher purpose other than beautifying the flute. It prevents the flute from getting. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Now, from this session onwards, we'll be starting with the alankars. It's and through alank from mer to per, which I'm sure make your sound clear. These alankar composition maintain a tempo while playing it, and it should be really uniform. It's really difficult in music, and we'll have to work on it. That's why alankar is really important. Whatever you should be all these seriously because it's boring, time taking, and it's lot of bugs, tunes again. Sa. Now it's sa dash dash dash, right? Sa and then three dashes. Now for you to practice, we are referring 1 dash to 1 second. So okay, 1 dash equals to 1 second. Now there are many ways of making this work. So you can look at a clock which has a second hand, which goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you can play just by looking at it. Sa 4 seconds exact, okay? And exactly at fifth second, you'll have to enter A. So there shouldn't be any gap because the clock's hand or the tabla pair or the beats will not stop for you. So you can also download a metronome app which has those 4 clicks, tick, 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 and that will be really helpful. And last but not the least, you can play along with me. So here I'll be playing this salankar with the tabla, which goes like proper seconds, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll have to. Okay, so it should match. Let me show you. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. In this session, we'll be learning something that has given me nightmares in my musical journey. Like what is C sharp, what is B flat, what are high octaves, low octaves, pitches, like everything. But you won't be having these nightmares because. Hey everyone, welcome to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flute. Okay, so let me first play the tune. It sounds beautiful, right? I just love to play this tune on the flute. Now, let's learn how to play this. Now, first, write down the notations. Pause the video and write it down. I know there are certain things that you don't understand in this, but write it down as it is, and then I'll explain it to you. Now, first things first, I hope you remember a swar with a dot below it is of Mandra Saptak or low octave, right? There are also two mers in the song, Shuddhma and Tivrama too. So how do we play Tivrama? So half is ma, right? For Tivrama, you'll have to open all the holes completely. Okay, so that's Tivrama completely. Now for the dashes, dash means you'll have to elongate the note. If you have sa sa dash, then it'll play it as sa 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 sa. Suppose if we have sa sa dash dash dash, then it'll play it as Sa sa. Okay. So dash means elongating the note. The more dashes, the more you'll have to elongate it. Don't stress about it too much. We'll talk about dashes and timings when we'll start with the elankas. Now we also have comma in some places. Now comma means you'll have to take a pause. That's all. Now this tune is really easy to play and I have made this even easier for you to pull it off quickly. Now you must have noticed that we are starting this song with the second part of it, which is also called the antra. Whenever I perform this song, I always start with the antra part. So my theory behind this is when I start with the antra part, I let the audience think which song it is because it takes a while for them to figure it out. And the second reason is the antra part is really beautiful and it catches the attention of the audience. Now they are all waiting for the main line, which is Bade Achhe Lagte Hain, right? Now, when I reach that part of the song, everyone in the audience is ready to sing along with the flute. And that makes the performance even more beautiful. So that's why I always begin with the second part, which is हम तुम कितने पास है कितने दूर है चांद सितारे सच पूछो तो मन को झूठे लगते हैं ये सारे. And after that, the main part comes. Now, by this time, everyone knows which song it is and they'll sing along with you. बड़े अच्छे और मगर सच्चे लगते हैं ये धरती ये नदियाँ ये रहना और तुम. So let's learn how it's played. Now we'll break this into small parts. So the first part is sa sa dash sa sa comma, right? So it is sa 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 sa. Comma means you'll have to take a pause. So sa 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 sa. Okay. Now next is sa ga re sa ni. Let's start from the beginning. Right? Sagare sani. So ni you'll have to elongate it. Now this ni is of Mandir Saptak. Remember that. If you haven't heard the song, you'll have to hear it in order to play it properly. So make sure you've heard the song and then try this. Ni 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 dha ni ni sa. Okay. Now try to play this beautifully. Okay. Got it? It's easy, right? So next line is ga 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 ma pa ma ga re ga 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 ma pa ma ga re. So it is the more slow you play, the more beautiful it will sound. Now the next is re re ma ma tivra ma. Okay, so re re tivra ma pa. Now this is tivra ma. Make sure you open all the holes completely. Re re ma 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 pa. Make sure it sounds right. Okay. Now let's play from the beginning till here. It's easy, right? You just have to practice it. If you're making mistakes, it's completely normal. You'll have to practice it. That's all. Now moving on to the main line, which is also called sthai part. Sthai. So it is Rega, pause, sa ni dha ni sa ga. Now for the last part. Ye dharti gaga pama. More you'll have to elongate it. Ye nadiyan re re maga. Ye rena sa sa ga re. Now re you'll have to elongate it even further. Okay? Re. And then or tum ni ni sa. And then elongate sa properly and beautifully. That's all. That's the whole song. It's really easy. Just make sure you practice it. So the last part goes like the more slowly you play, the more beautiful. So remember that. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhe Flutes. In this session, we'll talk about flute and its functionality. Now, this is a flute. And if someone asks you which instrument do you play, just by saying flute, that won't be enough. You'll have to be a bit more specific because there are so many kinds of flute: American flute, pan flute, Carnatic flute. The instrument you play, it's called Hindustani classical flute or the Indian bansuri. You must have heard bansuri. The word comes from Sanskrit in which bas means wood and sur means musical notes. Nowadays, we're not just limited to wooden flutes. There are different kinds of materials that we use to make flute. And some of these materials are carbon fiber, steel, bamboo, which we all know. And this is a PVC flute. Now, the PVC material is becoming really famous in the flute industry because it's more durable, cheap, and it comes with less precautions list. And last but not the least, the shape of the flute. It's always cylindrical. Whenever we talk about the flute, it'll always be cylindrical. And why it's cylindrical, we'll understand this further in the session through its functionality. Okay, moving on. In an Indian bansuri, there are 8 holes in total, a blowing hole and 7 playing holes for taking out different kinds of swars or notes. Now, talking about the physical appearance of the flute, it looks really beautiful, right? Blow it, it's escaping from the first hole. And if I close the first hole, it's escaping from the second hole. And it has to travel further. Now that the Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhe Flutes. Now from here onwards, your real music journey starts. So it's just make a proper notebook for music because I'll be making you write many things. And make sure the notebook should be durable because it'll help you throughout your music journey. Now before jumping on how to play swars and flute properly, let's do some important theory part. So let's get started with the swar. So the word swar, S-W-A-R, is derived from a Sanskrit word which was spelled as S-V-A-R, which means sound. Now swar is a Hindi word for notes, so don't get yourself confused with these two words, okay? You can say swars are the building blocks of music. And as you already know, it has different pitches, sa, re, ga, ma, and so on, right? Now the Indian classical music is the oldest music system there is. Every music system is derived from Indian classical music, everything. So why am I telling you this? Because Western music is also derived from Indian classical music. Now the Western culture has the same thing with the same pitches. Instead of sa re ga ma pa dha ni, they have do re mi fa sol la ti. You must have heard it somewhere. And wherever you feel the need, just pause the video and make your bullet points properly. Okay. Now make sure you write this one down. I brought the camera a bit closer so that you can see properly how I close the holes. First, write these things down, then I'll show you how it's done. So size 3 fingers, re is 2, ga is 1. Ma is a bit tricky. You'll have to open half a hole for ma. So there are 2 ways of playing ma. Either you can slide a finger or just lift it up 50%. Okay. So now try to take out these 7 short words clearly and practice it well. Then move to the next session. In the next session, we'll talk about other interesting things, and further on, I'll teach you how to do Sari Gama Pa Dha Ni properly in a tempo and how can you make it sound really sweet. And it's totally fine that it's not sounding sweet for now, but make sure it should be clear. Okay? See you in the next session. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Flute Beginners course from Radhe Flutes. In this session, we'll be learning how to blow. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Flute Beginners course from Radhe Flutes. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Flute Beginners course from Radhe Flutes. In this session, we'll be learning how to blow in a flute. Now, let me warn you about something. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhe Flutes. In this session, we'll be learning something that has given me nightmares in my musical journey. Like what is C sharp, what is B flat, what are high octaves, low octaves, pitches, like everything. But you won't be having these nightmares because I'll explain everything to you properly and I'll try to make this topic very interesting and leave no stones unturned. Till now, some of you may have heard different sounds coming out of flute, even if you're holding a particular number of. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhe Flutes. In the last session, we learned about scales. In this session, we learn about time from dawn to noon and the other time from noon to dawn. See, in both the examples, it is exactly the same time, but the difference is between how these notes can be played on a flute. I hope you have written it down. Let's see. So starting from the lower octave, and the first note is per, right? So we have three notes in lower octave: per, dha, ni. When I lift this finger up, now this is sa, and from here the middle octave starts, and we have all the notes till ni in middle octave. And when I lift this finger up, again sa, but from here higher octave starts. So we have sa, re, ga, ma, pa in high octave. So these are the ranges that can be played on flute. So pitches are controlled and are totally dependent on how you blow into it. That's why I keep on saying that the flute is the most difficult instrument in the world, because you'll have to have that control on how you blow into it to make it sound perfect. And with practice, you'll have that control. And when you have it, it truly sounds magical to everyone. In the high octave, the and mi can also be played, but I don't want to make this complicated, so we'll just keep it till per. That leaves per that is played in all three octaves. So let me show it to you. Lower octave, middle octave, higher octave. You must have noticed that I lift my first finger up while playing per. Now this is also per, but it is only applicable for middle and higher octave. If you try to play per like this in lower octave, it won't be played. Okay, it surely works. And it makes it easier. If your higher octave notes are not clear, it's totally okay because it requires practice. That's all. I hope you understood everything, and if you didn't, rewatch this video. And don't worry about it too much, you'll understand it with experience too. Now, in order to take out all the notes and all the octaves clearly, you'll have to practice. And as I say, you just have to give 15 minutes every day to your flute. But make sure. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. In this session, we learn how to hold the flute properly. Now let's talk about on which side you should keep your flute, on the right side or the left side. You can choose either one of them, it's not a problem. Now if you ask me, you already know that I keep my flute on the right side. So this is my right side and I keep my playing holes on my right. You can also hold your flute like this towards the left and it won't be a problem either. Usually I recommend my students to keep their flute on the right side so that they can follow me up better. But it's not a problem if you've chosen the left side. Now if you've already chosen the left side and you want to change it to mine, so it's not too late to do that because this is an early stage and you can make changes to your holding position. Now remember, whenever you're playing flute, your posture should be right. Your back should be straight and if you're keeping your flute on the right side, then your left elbow should be a bit higher while playing it. Okay? And vice versa for the left side. If you're keeping your flute on the left, then your right elbow should be a bit high. Now I'll be talking about the right side only and you can apply it to the left side as well. Now talking about the fingers, I'll start from the basics, okay? Now your left hand will come under the flute, okay? And your right hand will come over the flute. So you see, left hand under the flute, right hand over the flute. So for the first 3 hours, we use these three fingers, index, middle, and the ring finger. Okay. And beginners, they really worry about their thumb and their little finger, like where should they keep them. For the thumb part, what I do, I just keep it there for the support of my flute. And for the little finger, I don't really worry about it too much. I just go with the flow, like how it's played. Sometimes I rest it, sometimes I just keep it there. I just don't worry about it too much. For the last 3 hours, again, index, middle, and ring finger, you keep it here. So this is how I hold it. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to the finger position, which is a very important part, like how you should cover your holes properly. For that, let me bring the camera closer to the flute. Now let's divide this into two parts, the first 3 holes and the last 3 holes. Okay. So let's talk about the left hand. So there are two ways of holding the flute. First is that you close it with the tips, and second, that you push your fingers over. I usually push my fingers over like this. And this is how I hold my flute. But first, let's talk about the fingertips. So if you're going with the fingertips, then it should be like this. Not like this, but you should tilt your hand bit and then hold it like this. And why are we tilting it? Because when you move to bass flutes and bigger flutes, then the holes are further away and you won't be able to reach it with this straight technique. Now, suppose this is a bass flute, this is the first hole and this is the second hole. So if I try it, so I won't be able to reach it. But if I tilt it and then reach it, then yeah, it's simple. So keep this in mind that you tilt your fingers if you're going with the tips. And the second technique which I use is to push your fingers over. And this makes sense to me because the logic here is, so this is the most weakest finger, right? Our ring finger. So it should be comfortable. So what I do is, I know these two fingers are strong. So I compromise their comfortability and make this weak finger comfortable. Okay. So I push these over and then just keep the ring finger. So this is the trick. Okay. Now for the last 3 holes, it doesn't matter if you are holding the first 3 holes with the tips or you are pushing it over. You'll have to, for the last 3 holes, you'll have to push it over because there is a gap. And in bass flows, there is even a bigger gap there. So you'll have to push it over to hold it properly. So see, so I close with this part of the finger. I just push it over and make this finger comfortable. And if you're still not able to reach the last one, You can obviously go with the tip technique too, not a problem. But I hold it like this because it makes my life easier with bigger flutes. So that's it with the finger positions. As long as your holes are covered, it doesn't matter. Hey everyone, welcome to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Now in this session, we'll be learning that you all have been waiting for. We'll be learning our first tune. Now we won't be doing a whole song. We'll just take a small part of a beautiful song. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Now in this session, we'll be doing the bandish of Ragopali. We have already done the alap and I hope you have practiced it well. Now before getting into the bandish, it's really important to have the understanding of Teen Tal. Hey guys, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Now in this session, we'll get back to the alankars. So first, note down the sixth alankar and we'll obviously increase the level here. Now sixth alankar is a bit difficult one and you'll have to practice this properly. In order to play this alankar, you'll have to remember the swars and the holes. So which hole plays which swar, you'll have to remember that. Okay. So let me first play this. And obviously you'll have to go with the second. So let me show you with the tabla. So basically, you'll have to play alternate swars and you'll have to drop each swar on every beat. So it is sa ga re ma ga pa ma dha pa ni dha sa, and then the avro part. It sounds simple, but it is very difficult. But believe me, this alankar would really help you with your finger movements, with the swars, and the way you play it overall. So once you're done with the aro part, you cannot take break to play the avro. Okay, so you'll have to begin instantly after that. And please take time to practice this and get it right, and then move to the next alankar. Okay, moving on to the seventh alankar. Pause the video and write it down. Now, this is also a very good alankar, and I call this a pyramid exercise. Because to be honest, it's a bit easier from the previous alankar, but it's fun to play. So it is basically sa re ga ma pa ma ga re ga ma pa pa ma ga re ga ma pa ni da pa ma ga re ga ma pa ni ni da pa ma ga re But I'll give you a challenge here. Play this uniformly without looking at a clock or playing a beat. So you'll have to play it on your own, but uniformly with proper tempo. Okay, so let me play it. So you see, this is how uniform it should be. And try to enjoy these alankars. I know it's a bit boring process to practice all these alankars. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Till now, we've just focused on the notes or the sound of the flute, but there is another very, very important aspect to music, which is time. As I told you before, music is made up of three things: sound, time, and composition. In this case, the sound of the flute should be clear, and that's what we've been working on till now through Alankas. And second is time. And I personally feel that time is the most important thing to learn music because it's through time that you're able to understand the melodies and recognize the song. In other words, if notes are like words, then time is the structure of a sentence. The spaces and silences between words, the stress we put on certain words that changes the meaning of a sentence, how fast and how slow we're saying things. And just like there are different notes in music, there are different time frames or time durations that makes music so interesting. Now, moving on, we use the word pulse or beat, which means the interval between sound and silence, right? So for now, we are going to keep our flutes aside and learn about beats by tapping our hand on our thighs. Hey everyone, welcome back to Flute tutorial videos from Radhi Flutes. Now in this session, we'll be doing the bandesh of Ragopali. We have already done the alap and I hope you have practiced it well. Now before getting into the bandesh, it's really important to have the understanding of Teen Tal. Teen Tal is the most common rhythm in Indian classical music. First write about it and then I'll explain it to you. There are many, many kinds of tals that are played on tabla in Indian classical music and Teen Tal is one of them. Some of the other tals are Jhap Tal, Dadra, Karwa and Ek Tal, Chaw Tal. There are many. The most famous tal in which most of the Bollywood songs are played on is the Karwa Tal. हेलो एवरीवन, आप सबका स्वागत है राधे फ्लूस के ट्यूटोरियल वीडियोस में। इस सेशन में हम अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स बांसुरी के बारे में कुछ जानेंगे। मुझे पता है आप सब बहुत एक्साइटेड है फ्लूट सीखने के लिए, बट आपको अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के बारे में जानना भी उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है जितना उसको बजाना। तो जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि मैं आप सबको इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक सिखाऊंगा, राइट? जिसे हिंदी में शास्त्रीय संगीत कहते हैं। वैसे ही जो मैं इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स बोलता हूँ उसे हिंदी में वाद्य यंत्र बोलते हैं। तो बांसुरी एक वाद्य यंत्र है, वैसे ही हारमोनियम, तबला और अलग वाद्य यंत्र होते हैं। सो जो वाद्य यंत्र हम लोग सीखने वाले हैं
मेरे प्यारे स्टूडेंट्स, सीखने और साधने में बड़ा फर्क होता है। आप कोई भी चीज बहुत जल्दी सीख सकते हैं, कुछ मिनटों में, कुछ घंटों में, लेकिन उसको साधने आपको डिसिप्लिन के साथ रोज प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है, तब जाके आप उसको साध पाते हैं। तो आप डिसिप्लिन के साथ घर बैठे बैठे प्रैक्टिस कर सके, यही सोचकर आज का लेसन भी लेके आया हूँ। तो यदि आपका सारे गमा पधा निशा सफाई से अच्छे से बज रहा है, आपने लॉन्ग नोट्स का खूब रियाज किया है, तो अब बारी आ गई है, अब समय आ गया है कि हम उसी को बीट्स के साथ तैयार करें, अलग अलग लय के साथ तैयार करें। तो आपको इसे भी रियाज सेशन मानना है, एज अ लाइव क्लास मानना है। रोज नियम से यहाँ पे आना है यूट्यूब पे मेरी क्लास में और मेरे सामने हाजिरी लगानी है, अटेंडेंस देनी है। डे 1 डे 2 21 डेज का चैलेंज दे रहा हूँ। आपका नाम, आपका शहर और डे 1 डे 2 रोज बिना किसी ब्रेक के। तैयार है? चैलेंज एक्सेप्टेड। शुरू करें? चलो पहले एक दो बार हम बिना ताल के बजाएंगे, फिर बीट में शुरू करेंगे। ई बेस की बांसुरी है, आपके पास कोई भी स्केल की फ्लूट कर सकते हैं। सेम स्केल रहेगा तो साउंड मैच करेगा। रिपीट। सीधे बैठो, कमर नहीं झुकनी चाहिए। एक सांस में सारे गम, फिर आप सांस लो, फिर पधनिसा, 4-4 स्वर। फिर से सांस भरो। इसका आपको इतना रियाज करना है लॉन्ग नोट्स के बहाने कि हर स्वर पे आपका कंट्रोल आ जाए, कहीं भी एक्स्ट्रा फूक ना निकले, एक्स्ट्रा प्रेशर ना लिखने, आप जहां चाहे उसको कंट्रोल कर सके। हाँ, अब करते हैं हम बीट के साथ, जो आज का हमारा उद्देश्य है। थोड़ा पानी वानी पी लो, पीना हो तो, प्यास लग रही हो तो, फिर मैं ब्रेक नहीं दूंगा। हाँ, तो मैंने यहाँ पे 3 ताल लगा ली है। धा दिन दिन धा, 80 का स्पीड है, बीपीएम बीट्स पर मिनट 80, 3 ताल, धा दिन दिन धा। ताल क्या होता है तो एक बहुत बढ़िया लेसन पहले ही आ चुका है, जरूर देखना, जिसमें हमने तबले के, मैंने एक स्टूडेंट को भी साथ में रखा है और समझाया है तबले इंस्ट्रूमेंट के साथ, उसके पार्ट्स, ताल क्या होता है, तो उसका लिंक आपको मिल जाएगा। देख लिया हो तो फिर से देख लेना, रिवीजन हो जाएगा। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, धा दिन दिन धा धा दिन दिन धा धा तिन तिन ता ता दिन दिन लगाओ। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, धा दिन दिन धा धा दिन दिन धा धा तिन तिन ता ता दिन दिन धा। सारे ग म प ध नि सा, 2 बीट चल रही है और 2 बीट में एक सुर आ रहा है। हाँ, धा तिन तिन ता ता दिन दिन धा। हर कभी सांस नहीं लेनी है ना। अब जैसे मैं सांस खत्म होने के बाद फटाफट से सांस ले लेता हूँ, उस वक्त आप बीट के साथ नाक से सांस लोगे तो टाइम निकल जाएगा, तो जल्दी से मुंह से सांस भर लेते हैं। टाइम हो तब आप नाक से सांस भरो, आराम से रिलैक्स हो जाओ। तो समय को देख के काम करना पड़ता है जिंदगी में भी और संगीत में भी। अब एक बीट एक नोट, जिसे हम संगीत की भाषा में क्या कहते हैं, एक गुण। हाँ, सीधे बैठो, कमर सीधी, झुक के नहीं बैठना, ऐसे बांसुरी इतना नीचे नहीं रखना, ऐसे रखो। हाँ,
चाहे छोटी बांसुरी हो, बड़ी बांसुरी हो या कोई भी स्केल की बांसुरी हो, इस होल पे आपको ऐसे अपने नीचे वाला जो आपके अधर कहलाते हैं ना, लोअर लिप, इसके सेंटर को रखना है ऐसे।
नमस्कार दोस्तों, आप में से कई ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स होंगे जो कि बांसुरी पे थोड़े बहुत गाने बजाते होंगे। हाँ, और आप अपने आप को इंटरमीडिएट्स कहते होंगे कि हम बांसुरी में अभी इंटरमीडिएट। फिर से गलती किया आपने। अरे पहचानो अपनी गलती, सांस भरो। हाँ, रुक जाओ, यही तो गलती कर रहे हो आप, एकदम से प्रेशर मारते हो उषा का, क्योंकि हमने जब सांस बहुत सारी भर ली है, एकदम से प्रेशर मारोगे तो हमारे प्रेशर से स्वर बदल जाते हैं, और जब तक स्वरों में स्थिरता नहीं आएगी, मिठास कैसे आएगी? तो स्वर कहलाएंगे, वो केवल एक ध्वनि कहलाएगी। हाँ, नॉइस नहीं करना ना, म्यूजिक चाहिए। जो पहला प्रेशर आएगा उसको कंट्रोल में लाओ। कम ऑन, आप कर सकते हो। इस बार अच्छी कोशिश किया है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा और बेहतर करो। एकदम से जो प्रेशर आता है वो कंट्रोल में होना चाहिए। हर सांस का एक एक कतरा आपके कंट्रोल में होना चाहिए। सांस भरो। आप जब एंडिंग कर रहे हैं उस स्वर की, तो एकदम से उसको बंद नहीं करना कि सा, ऐसा नहीं करना। और ऐसा भी नहीं करना कि बस सांस का जो लास्ट आपका कतरा बचा है उसमें आप बजाए जा रहे हैं, तो पूरा ऐसा खराब हो जाएगा, वो दिखेगा, आपका स्ट्रगल सुनाई देगा। कंट्रोल।